Assalamu alaikum students, hope you are doing well. Today we are going to do chapter number 3 on the ocean. That is actually a poem that is about an old sailor. First of all, let's go through some learning outcomes that you will learn about. All these things you will learn in this poem. Analyze a poem for main idea. You will learn main idea as well as summary of the poem. Understanding how a poet used language to appeal the senses through similes, identify and use rhyming words. Then you will learn some new vocabulary, style to engage in conversation, use linking verbs, identification of a topic sentence in a paragraph, sentences carrying supporting details, and you will also learn about text comprises a group of paragraphs that develop a single theme or idea. Here are some questions related to this topic. Have you ever seen an ocean? I hope you all have seen an ocean. How do you feel on a hot day? Definitely we feel uneasy and restless on a hot day. So let's move to the actual poem. First of all, I want to tell something about the poem or the poet as well. This poem is written by the poet Samuel Taylor Coleridge, and this poem is taken from the long poem of S.T. Coleridge's long poem The Rime of Ancient Mariner. That is the most influential poem in English language. This poem is actually about an old sailor who narrates his long story about a voyage in which his entire ship crew was killed. He also explains the hardships and dangers that they encountered during the sea voyage. The poet describes when the sailor went on a voyage with some of his companions. It was summer season. The sun was looking red like blood. It shows extreme hotness. He explains the hardships and dangers which they had to face as they consumed the drinking water that they brought with them. Although they were standing in the ocean, but they could not drink the water, as the sea water was salty. So they all died just due to thirst. Now let's move to the translation of this poem. All in a hot and copper sky, गर्म और तांबे जैसे खुले आसमान के नीचे, द ब्लडी सन एट नून, दोपहर के वक़्त दहकता हुआ सूरज. Right up above the mast did stand, जो मस्तूल के ऐन ऊपर सीधा खड़ा था. The word mast mean a slim tower, no bigger than the moon, जो कि चाँद से ज़्यादा बड़ा ना था. Day after day, दिन के बाद दिन गुजरते गए. We stuck, nor breath nor motion, हम जमे रहे ना सांस ना हरकत. As idle as a painted ship, ऐसे साकिन जैसे तस्वीर का जहाज़. Upon a painted ocean, एक तस्वीर में बने समंदर पर. Water everywhere, पानी ही पानी हर तरफ. All the boards did shrink, और तमाम तख्ते सिकुड़ गए. Water everywhere, पानी ही पानी हर तरफ. But not a drop to drink, लेकिन पीने के लिए कतरा भी नहीं. Now there are questions related to this text. What do you understand by copper sky? The copper sky is actually a simile, that is a figure of speech and usually used in poems. The copper sky is a simile which the poet has used to describe that due to scorching rays of the sun, the color of sky changed and it is looking like a sheet of copper. Now there is another question. How does How does the poet describe motionlessness? The poet describes How does the poet describe motionlessness? The poet describes motionlessness as idle as a painted ship. Here is another question. Why there is not a single drop of water to drink? The sailors are on the ship. They have consumed their stock of water. The sea water is salty and is undrinkable. So there is not a single drop of water to drink. I hope it's clear to you girls. It's clear to you students. Okay, Allah Hafiz.